Hi there, I'm Andy Hillier, and I've had this request in to all of you by Syd Matters, and I believe it's from a game called Life is Strange. It's an absolutely beautiful song, so I thought I'd have to do it for you. So I'm going to teach you that today. I'll put the tabs for this on my Patreon account. So if you want to support me, keep me going, and you want the tabs for this, I'll leave a link to my Patreon page down below. I've set it at just £1 a month. Hopefully it's accessible to as many people as possible. Also, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel, really helps me out. And give me a like on the video and leave me your comments. Let me know your requests. Let me know where in the world you're from. It's really interesting. I'm always amazed by people around the world watching my videos. So thank you if you've watched any of my videos as well. Okay, so let's get down to it. My guitar's in standard tuning. I've got a capo on the 4th fret. We've got 3 parts that we need to learn. We've got an intro part, which is actually 3 lines long. We've got a verse part, and then there's a bit that goes at the end of the verse, and then it kind of keeps going around that through the rest of the song. Okay, so the first line of the intro sounds like this. So for that, first finger on B1, second finger on D2, and we're going to hammer on using our little finger. I haven't seen anyone do this before on like an A minor 7 chord. I quite like it. So you play the open A string and open G string, and then you're going to have to slap your little finger down on fret 4. It's pretty tricky to use your little finger and get that hammer on. If you wanted to, and like an easier version, you could just play the open open B string instead of that G4. You could go, but I'm going to do it how he plays it. He does play it with this hammer on with a little finger. So you play the open A string, open G string, hammer on your little finger to G4, and then you're going to play the D string, take your little finger off, play the open G, first finger is on B1, so you play the B1, and then back to the D2. So the first bar slowly goes. The next bar, you take your second finger off and move it down a string, and we're going to pull off from G2 to G at the same time as playing the A string. So it goes, and then bring that second finger back to the D2, play the G, the B1 and the D2 on the end. So the second bar goes, so bars 1 and 2 together. Bar 3 is the same as bar 1. Bar 4 starts the same as bar 2. But on the end you've got a D hammering onto D2, so bar 4 goes. So the first line goes. A bit faster. On to the second line, bar 5. This again feels weird. It's playing like a C chord. So your first finger's on B1, second finger D2, third finger A3. Then you have to use your little finger to hammer on to the G4 with the little finger. So you play the A3 and the open G, hammer it on. Again, if you wanted an easier version, you could put that as just an open E string, so you could go. But I'm going to play it how he plays it. So you do the hammer on, then play the D, take your little finger off, play the G, the B1, and then open. So take your second finger off and play the open D string at the end of that first bar. So you got to watch out for that. It goes. So he takes the finger off, because then in the next hit, you play the A3 and you bring your second finger down to G2, pulling it off, and then he plays a fast little D, D2, hammer on, and then open G. So bar 6, the start of it goes, then play the B1, and then the D2. So bar 6 slowly goes, a bit faster, even faster, sorry. So that's up to speed. So that's a bit tricky. If you wanted to, just get rid of the hammer on and just play the D2 and then the B string. So you could play it like, would be fine as well. But I've just done what I heard on the track. So bars 5 and 6 go. Bar 7 is the same as bar 5. And then you're going to go to your second finger on E2, nearest to your face, and your third finger on G2. Pull it off, the G string, and then play the open D, open G, B1, and then you've got D string at the end. So that bar 8 slowly goes. So let's play the whole line. Here it comes, nice and slowly. And a bit faster. And on to the next line, bar 9, second finger. It was on E2, it's going to now move to E3. And then you're going to do that hammer on again with the little finger. Playing the E3 and the G, hammer on the little finger to E to G4. Then D, then open G, and then B3, and then D. So that bar 9 goes. And then use your first finger down on G2, pulling off at the same time as hitting the E3. Open D, open G, B3, and then D. So bar number 10 goes. Oh, sorry. So bars 9 and 10. Next bar 11 is the same as bar 9. Bar 12 is almost like bar 10. There's an open B there, and then a hammer on D to D2. So let's try the whole of that line. Okay, so that's the whole of the intro, and the whole of those 3 lines repeat. So let's just play through those 3 lines one time. It would repeat it in the actual song. Here it comes. So that repeats twice, and then we get into the verse. Now there's 2 lines of the verse. The first line sounds like this. So for that, we're going to play E3 nearest to your face and B3 at the same time. Then open D, open G, E3, open B, so you've got to take your third finger off there. Then D and then G. So the first bar of the verse, bar 13, goes. And then we'll do open A, hammering onto D, so hammering onto A2, then D, G, B, G, D. So it goes. And then bar 15, we play A2 and B3 at the same time. Then open G, B1. A3, open B, then open D. So and then bar 16, we're going to play B1 and E2 at the same time. I use my first and second fingers, then open D, then G2, E2, and then B1. So bar 16 slowly goes. So the whole of the first line of the verse goes. And the second line of the verse, we're going to use, I use my little finger here on B3. I keep my first finger already waiting on B1, second finger D2, and third finger G2. Play the A string and the B3, then D2, G2. Take my little finger off and play the open B string with the A string, then D2, and then G2, so bar 17. And then we play into the next bar, bar 18, open D, hammering onto D2, then play another D2, G2, and then B1, and then G2. So bar 18 goes. So bars 17 and 18 together go. And then we're going to go up on bar 19 to this shape, which is your first finger on B3, second finger on D4, little finger on G5, and third finger on A5. We play the A string and the B string at the same time, then the D, the G, back to the A. Take your first finger off to play the B string, then back to the D string. So bar 19 slowly goes. And then put your finger back on B3, and bar 20 you play the A string and the B string at the same time. Then D, G, A, B, and then D. So bar 20 goes. So bars 19 and 20 together go. So let's put the whole of that line together. Okay, so the two lines for the verse, it repeats 3 times. Let's just play it the verse through once so we can hear it. We'll do it nice and slowly. Here it comes. And so it does that round 3 times, those 2 lines, and then we play, there's a little line that goes. Which is just playing open E, D2, G, B, and back to D2. So that one's pretty easy, that line. You just do that 4 times. And then after it does that, it goes back to the intro part, plays it through, and then it does the verse part again 3 times, then it plays this bit, and then that's the whole song. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed that little guitar lesson and found it useful. If you wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel, which is Andy Hillier, giving me a like on the video, leaving me some comments in the comment section, including songs you want to learn and where in the world you're from. And if you love what I'm doing and you want to support me, and you want the tabs for this as well, because I'll put the tabs on there, I've got a Patreon account. It just keeps me doing these videos, keeps me running. I'll leave a link to that in the description down below. Thanks for watching this. I've been Andy Hillier, and I'll see you next time.